Can you see that I'm recording?
No. Wait.
On the left.
Because just aromatic perfumed style to make it more accessible in itself. So if we're speaking about different temperatures for the estate wine level, we're usually doing it a bit colder, around 10 to 12 degrees, sometimes up to 14. And then for the Erste Lage and große Gewächse, we usually don't control that because it takes place in the large oak barrels or even in the Burgundy oak barrels, which we use for Chardonnay and Weißburgunder partly, but not for Grauburgunder. So that is around 14 to 16, but as well 18 degrees, depending on what kind of level the fermentation is. Of course, it can get warmer if the fermentation is in full swing. In those large oak barrels or Burgundy oak barrels, it cannot go up to 20 or 22 degrees because it will be not controlled.
What would the effect be if you would do the fermentation at a higher temperature regarding the taste?
Well, as I said, it's much more influenced by the, as you can see, Pulverburg is not that type of fruit-driven blossom Weißburgunder. It's more, it's a sharp, it's a lemon citrus fruit classical wine, which is having more those yeasty notes. So more those breadcrumbs and influenced by oak. So this is if you ferment with higher temperatures, you can achieve much more typical or characteristic aromas than you do if you ferment it colder. If you ferment colder, you'll get a lot more aromatics, a bit more fruit-driven, earlier accessible, but at least not the style which we want to produce. Of course, we are having that for the estate wine level, which is only produced and fermented in stainless steel, but not for those ones which are higher qualities. So it's always a type of different philosophies for the wine.
Dus misschien even in het Nederlands, misschien interessant om goed te begrijpen. Dus sowieso als je wat kouder fermenteert, ga je meer naar dat fruit gaan. Je gaat meer het fruit laten spreken. En wat de bedoeling is van de wijn dat we nu drinken, ook echt dat fruit laten spreken. Die frisheid, dus dat is de bedoeling van wat kouder te gaan fermenteren en op niet te hoge temperatuur die fermentatie te laten plaatsvinden.
All right, the first wine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
if somebody wants to give some comments, feel free. You can unmute and speak or put something in the chat. If not, we are going to the second one. Everybody is thirsty.
Seems like. That's good. So, second wine, I'm already going to present the bottle because nobody's seeing the bottle. So that's Schlossberg, Grauburgunder, 2017. So, really nice comparison to.
Sorry, maybe I showed the video first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
an idea of what Schlossberg looks like.
Yeah.
Grauburgunder. Yes.
So, hi everybody. Here we are in the Schlossberg Grauburgunder vineyard. We will taste the 2017 Schlossberg Grauburgunder in our tasting. Right here we can see the beautiful soil, so dark volcanic soil in an old vineyard, which is now 45 years old. And as you can see, it's really steep in here. So it costs a lot of effort to produce this great wine. And we didn't catch the best weather, but still I think it's a good way to see how the wines are trained and to enjoy the wine.
Good, great.
This was shot maybe to say 1 week ago.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it wasn't the best weather actually. I always waited for the best weather because Baden, of course, we have a lot of sunshine hours, but actually, of course, not when I'm out to the vineyards and wanted to make some videos. So I'm sorry about that, but still, I think we saw straight away at the start of the video the soil. So really, really dark volcanic soil, which gives a lot of saltiness, a lot of oriental aromas and spice towards to the wine. So this is, even if you pour it in a blind tasting, this is somehow not always recognized as Grauburgunder. It's more going into a Chardonnay direction. It's made Grauburgunder for us. It always needs to be really acidity-driven, light, elegant. So they always have a maximum 12.5 alcohol. And as you maybe saw, Schlossberg is really steep. So it's one of our warmest vineyards. Maybe I can show you a vineyard map as well. Give me a second. So I can show that pretty good on that one here. So now everybody should see the screen.
Yeah.
So Schlossberg is located much more to the south, which means we are right here. And the special thing is that that is more as a, it's not the center part, that's where the winery is. So Schlossberg is more towards to a small village where all the air is actually stuck in that small valley as we saw it. So you have the village, and on the other side you have the hill as well, which is then actually, we have all the air coming from the Rhine River Valley, and it always tends to be a really fruit-driven and bold type of Grauburgunder. So yeah, we always need to pay attention that it's not too heavy and too rich. Schlossberg 2017 is one, or even the best Schlossberg Grauburgunder for me personally, which we produced. I'm not quite sure how you like it, but I really like the saltiness and the tension in it. It's only made in large oak barrels as well for 1.5 years, and another half year on the bottle. So it's 2 years in total staying in the winery before it's being released. So yeah, there's a nice story also, which I didn't tell. You saw the wines. So they are really not easy to farm because it's quite steep. We usually have terraces where we are growing the wine. So it's pretty unusual. So you need to put a lot of work into the wines. It was, I think, 8 or 9 years ago when Franz Keller, so the owner of the winery, who is now the DFB president, so the president of the Football Association in Germany, was doing a Sunday stroll through the vineyards. Exactly, here it is. Great. On the right, that's Fritz. And the left is Friedrich, so he's currently taking care of the winery, the oldest son since 2015. So he was doing a Sunday stroll through the vineyards, and then he was meeting an old lady who's working in the wines, and she was saying, "Oh, I need to get out all of the wines because I can't work them anymore." And he said, "Why? I'm going to buy them." So, but as Achkam or Schlossberg, where actually the vineyard is located on, is another village as Oberbergen, so another small village. It's not like they are liking each other. So this was kind of a thing where the old lady said, "Okay, where are you coming from?" And he said, "I'm from Oberbergen." And she said, "Okay, I'm not going to sell you any wine. I'm going to leave those wines and I'm still going to work in those." Because she didn't want to sell to people coming from another village. It's kind of a weird thing going on in the Kaiserstuhl, because all those small villages are not really kind to each other, let's say like that. And Schlossberg as well is a really, really high classified vineyard. So it's one of the best vineyards in Baden, throughout Germany. And then it came out that the old lady and the mother of Fritz went to school together. So, and then she said, okay, you can have those wines and you'll be able to buy them and you can farm them. And so it came that we are able now to farm Schlossberg Grauburgunder as one of only a few producers in Baden actually. So yeah, pretty nice and really old wines. So 50 years old. They are not struggling in the heat, despite some young wines to it. But they are now, some of those wines are 6 to 8 meters deep in the soil, even through the volcanic rocks. Yeah.
Yannik, I have 2 questions from the audience. I have Paul asked me, is it correct to say that the Grauburgunder, so the Pinot Gris we are tasting now as wine 2, is on the highest slopes and the Pinot Noir is down the same hill? That's the first question. So there's number 5 we will taste in some minutes. Is it correct? Yeah. Okay.
Well, talking about the different, we'll see Schlossberg Spätburgunder later on in another video.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the hill as well. It's on the same hill, but for all, doesn't matter if it's Grauburgunder or Schlossberg Grauburgunder or Schlossberg Spätburgunder, we have different plots because that's the important thing. You have steep slopes, which gives you a bit more minerality, a bit more acidity because it's the colder vineyards, which are more towards up to the forest. And then you have those ones on the bottom of the hill, which gives you a bit more fruit because they are warmer, obviously. So you have to get the balance out of those. And in some years, we take more of, in warmer years, of course, we take more from the hills, which gives more acidity, and then declassify those ones from the bottom of the hill to another classification level. And the other way around, in cold vintages, we take more from the bottom of the hill and declassify more from the steep slopes. It's for both vineyards. It's for Schlossberg Grauburgunder and Schlossberg Spätburgunder. So.
Oké, perfect. Dus misschien gewoon even in het Nederlands interessant om te weten dat als het hoger is, als de wijngaarden wat hoger liggen, dan heb je wat meer de aciditeit. En als ze wat lager liggen, dan is het wat warmer, krijg je wat meer het volle karakter van de wijn. I have another question, Yannik, from Peter, who is asking what will be, how will it develop, the Grauburgunder we are tasting now, how will it develop in time? Dus wat zal uiteindelijk het effect zijn van hem binnen x aantal jaren te drinken bijvoorbeeld? Hoe zal hij evolueren, de wijn?
Well, I think really good because I tasted vintages from 2002 to 2006. And those were actually 10 or 15 years old. Of course, you need to like ripe wines then, especially ripe white wines, because they are more showing tertiary aromas, which means you are getting more of those mushroomy, truffle style of aromatics, which can fit pretty well to a style of winter kitchen, let's call it like that. And but of course they lose the acidity easily faster than Chardonnay or anything else, but still for Schlossberg Grauburgunder, as you can feel in the mouth, it got a lot of tension and it got a lot of acidity, mouth-watering acidity. And they'll develop really good, as we experienced for Schlossberg, from a minimum 8 to 10 years without any struggle.
Nice, ja. Dus sowieso een mooi bewaarpotentieel voor deze wijn. Dus zoals dat Yannik ook zegt, van die aciditeit, hetgeen dat een beetje het speeksel in uw mond vormt, is de aciditeit. Zal dus na verloop van tijd wel wat weggaan, maar je kunt hem dus zeker 8 à 10 jaar bewaren.
Eigenlijk zijn we niet gewend van een Pinot Gris, als we het dan anders zeggen, Pinot Gris, dat van dit niveau te proeven. Als je dit blind geeft, mijn ervaring is, als je dat blind geeft aan sommeliers, heb ik nog eigenlijk niemand gehad die er Pinot Gris op plakte. Meestal zoeken ze in Bourgogne. Dit persoonlijk vind ik een van mijn favorieten in het gamma qua wit. Dus absolute wereldtop qua qua wijn. Ja, zeker en vast. En zeker 17, want ik volg het al een paar jaar. 17. 17 is definitely one of my favorite vintages, like Yannik said. So.
Mine as well, yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Really nice.
All right.
All right. Let's go to red. So
maybe I just show the
which wine?
The Grauburgunder, but because they have a list, but to be sure exactly what they are tasting. That was wine number 2. All right.
Perfect. Now coming to wine number 3. Schlossberg Spätburgunder 2018. So that's how it looks.
I have another picture for you if you want.
Yeah, please. Perfect. So yeah, maybe you showed those perfect images from the Basgeige before to me. Maybe you can show that image as well.
The picture, yeah?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
This one.
So yeah, that's a part of the Basgeige actually. Basgeige is, the name is actually coming from the shape of the vineyard. So if you see it from above, it actually looks as the Basgeige, so as the music instrument. This is the shape of the vineyard, so as the cello. But as we saw, it's growing on terraces, and that is really important for us because we have not that much rainfall. We have actually 20% less as Freiburg, which is only 10 kilometers away. But the reason is that it's not raining off on the Kaiserstuhl because all of the weather is going more towards north, so towards the Alsace or towards the Black Forest. So we need those terraces, which we just saw, to keep the water on the terraces to serve the wine. Otherwise, we would struggle really much with the drought. Yeah, Basgeige Spätburgunder is erste Lage, so Premier Cru. 2018 is for me a perfect Pinot Noir vintage because we have fully ripe. We had fully ripe wet wine grapes, so Pinot Noir grapes, and then yeah, exactly perfect. We can see the image right there. From the Basgeige. So in 2018, it has a lot of charming fruit. It's early accessible, but you can still store it 10 to 15 years without any struggle. And it's mostly made with Burgundy clones, so Burgundy Pinot Noir clones. We are coming to the topic later on with Kirkberg and Schlossberg Spätburgunder, so with wine number 5 and 6, I think, then. So the 2 Pinot Noirs, we can go to that topic later on. But which I wanted to show you is as well maybe a small video of the Burgundy oak barrel cellar where we keep the red wines for fermentation as well. So let's start, let's see. So that is our cellar. So right here we can see all of the Burgundy oak barrels which we are using. So that is one harvest now. So those are actually the large oak barrels where we just tasted Pulverburg Weißburgunder and Schlossberg Grauburgunder from. So for the whites, we only use those, and reds are going into those small Burgundy oak barrels which we just saw. Yeah, maybe important thing for the winery as well, because some of you might didn't see the winery already, so that's quite interesting to see. For the red wine, we take the whole winery is built into the hill, which means we do everything by gravitation without pumping or anything else. We have at least 1, maximum 2 pumping processes per wine. which means all of the grapes are coming in on the top level right here. They will be going through trapdoors, then down on the presses. But for the red wine, of course, we do the mid step for the mash fermentation tanks, which I can show you as well to get you an insight. Let me see. So that is actually red wine fermentation. So during the harvest, we have for Baskeige Spätburgunder, we mainly use those Burgundy foudre and those stainless steel, and then we let them in here for 2 and 2.5 weeks, and afterwards it's going down to the Burgundy oak barrels for fermentation. So as you just saw, that's where we were now. Afterwards, it's going down to the Burgundy oak barrel cellar, which we saw before, and there it's going to be for Baskeige Spätburgunder. We are talking about 1 year in oak barrels. And then, yeah, it's gonna be ready to sell. Yeah, so.
Yannik, maybe an important question that I'm just thinking of. We're talking about Christmas and New Year's Eve. We're talking about eating, in fact, and pairing with wine. If we go back to the white wines, for example, the Weissburgunder we had, and then also the Grauburgunder, what would you pair it with as food?
Good question. Weissburgunder for me, because it always got a bit more acidity, or a bit more acidity, that you can pair it pretty well with more buttery dishes. So if you have, for example, pan-fried fish, pan-roasted fish, served with buttery sauces, which catches up good with the acidity, with the creamy notes, like we do in the Schwarze Adler, which is more turbid, beurre blanc and potatoes. So that will be the classical dish. Otherwise, you can pair it with poultry. Both of them, well, Schlossberg Grauburgunder as well, but Schlossberg Grauburgunder you can actually go on a different way as well, because Schlossberg Grauburgunder, as you see, or as you maybe tasted it's more opulent. So it's not, it has a backbone of acidity, but not that present as Weissburgunder. So it's more, you can have more acidity-driven dishes. You could have ceviche, so raw fish, sushi with wasabi, stuff like that. You can have a lot of things. You can have a bit of cheese. So it's really, Grauburgunder is something which allows a wide range of food pairing. Veal, so saddle of veal, poultry. There are a lot of things which pairs well. So yeah, really complex.
So the advantage is you can pair it with a lot of foods, and you can drink it like that also without food, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah, especially for those two vintages.
Yeah, perfect. Dimitri, I have someone who asks if you can show slide number of wine number 3 again.
Of course, I can.
And also someone who asks if it would be possible to organize a Start2Taste guided visit to the winery after Corona, for example.
Yes, please.
Why not? Maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, Yannik, that people come over and see the shop and see the everything that's around. In fact, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm always happy to organize tours. Once Dimitri put together a tour, or if you would like to come individually, please just come by. That's actually the restaurant which we now can see, Kellerwirtschaft. So always happy to.
I'm going to make everybody jealous, which was not there yet.
Yeah, yeah. So please, I'm always happy to welcome anybody. So
perfect.
Yeah. So I hope everybody liked wine number 3. That's one of my favorites at the moment to drink because it's really accessible. And yeah.
I just want to add to the tasting that in reds, we only have 2018s in the tasting, but we still have older vintages in stock. I need to say that since 5 years, something like that, we've tasted these wines and followed them. And 18, when I was tasting the new vintage for the first time, I said, wow,
yeah,
this is really, really, really good. And 18 is very accessible at his young age. It has a potential.
Yeah.
17, for example, in comparison, was much more straightforward, was much more, a little bit tension in the wine. This is charming from the beginning.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that's the remarkable thing about 18, because you can see on the structure in the mouth that it has a lot of potential, but still it's drinking really accessible right now. It's fruit driven, it's light. They only have 12.5 alcohol, despite it's a really hot or warm year. It's been a warm year. But still we managed to produce wines with great freshness, great purity, and great fruit. And it's good to have them all in a range because you can see the vineyard differences. Yeah.
And also maybe Friedrich, which is the son, the youngest guy you saw in the picture, is much more and more taking over the wine making process.
Yeah.
And he is, my opinion, he is maybe more an artist than his dad. Okay, he's young, he needs to prove himself. But if I see the progress that he is making, the kind of way he's thinking, it's wow.
It is, yeah. That was the thing which led me to actually work for Franz Keller, because that was when I met Friedrich 5 years ago. It's been 5 years now since I worked for Franz Keller, and of course I was coming from a restaurant, from a 2-star Michelin restaurant. So of course I loved my job. I loved working in the restaurants. But then I met Friedrich and recognized that he's somebody who's wanted to take the winery to a next level. As an example, we are now switching to biological farming next year. So we saw it as well in the Vineyard movie from Schlossberg. We'll maybe see it in the next from Schlossberg Spätburgunder as well. You can see the green in the vines and the straw as well and everything else. So all of the farming is done biological now since a few years. We tested it to just see how it developed, and Friedrich is, of course, besides his training, he's worked for a lot of Burgundy estates, Burgundy domains. He's thinking in a really French Burgundy way, but still with the heritage of the Kaiserstuhl. So that is, I think, the thing which catch me to produce great Pinot, a nice picture, and to produce great Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays and Grauburgunders, of course. So great guy,
Yeah, it's really very charming, like the dad. He's the president of the football of Germany, so he's a big guy. He's now flying the whole world, I guess, discussing everything. So it's really an important job in Germany to be the president of the football of whole Germany.
Yeah.
Now this is taking all his time, and now the son is doing it, and the son is wow.
Yeah, he's actually more, how should I say, more consequent. That's what Fritz is always saying. So because he's picking more earlier, he's doing more acidity driven, more consequent wines, which are of course sometimes not easy to taste at the first attempt. But if you'll have them with food, or if you give them the time to develop in the glass, you'll sense that you'll always looking for the next glass of wine, despite not because it's dry. It's got a lot of tension. It always shows the character of the vineyard. So you'll always be happy to look for the second glass of wine. At least the aim is to have an empty bottle. Yeah.
All right, the next wine.
Next wine. 2018 Anselberg Spätburgunder, großes Gewächs. I think we sadly don't have a video of that one, but
We have this.
yeah, exactly. So Anselberg is more, maybe I can show it on the Vineyard Map, because that's quite important. So Vineyard Map. So Anselberg is located more right here. So the special thing about Anselberg is that we have a bright volcanic soil, so not the typical dark volcanic soil, which gives always more fruit, which makes it more accessible in itself. It's actually coming from 2 parcels, which are planted 1999 and 2003. So they are close to 20 years old right now. And they are only planted with Burgundy Pinot Noir clones, which means Franz Keller decided to plant those vineyards only with 100% Burgundy clones, because Burgundy clones, in comparison to the German ones, they give a lot more dark fruits. They are more cherry notes, not raspberry, strawberry-like. They are more intense. So therefore, it's always a bit more concentrated. Speaking about the growing conditions for the Burgundy clones as well, we have really small clusters, so small berries, which I can maybe show as well, because it's quite nice to see how they are getting processed.
That is why, just to inform, that is why we on the price list, we wrote down if it's Bourgogne clones or if it's German clones.
Yeah, because that is really important. Now we see how they are getting processed. So that's the Spätburgunder processing right here. And as you can see, we just take it out of the stems. And in warm vintages, we of course add back the stems and then just put it onto the cold fermentation. So right here, that's actually where all the berries are going in, the Pinot Noir berries. So just add a bit of cold ice to give them a bit more fruitiness, and then they are going straight into the fermentation. So that's just a protection against oxidation and to give them more fruit.
So this is only cold ice that you are adding at this.
Exactly, yeah. We are just adding like cold ice or trocken ice. You can see right here, standing right here. And then that's against the oxidation. So talking about the vineyard is more open to the Rhine River Valley, which means it's got a lot of warm air during the day. But then during the night, of course, it's got a huge difference to the day, because it gets a lot of cold air from the Rhine River Valley as well, which means we have a long growing season, which holds the alcohol pretty good. But then nice acidity, only made in Burgundy oak barrels for 1 year, and 30% new oak. So yeah.
For people who don't like Pinot Noir, I guess this is the perfect proof that they are wrong.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, this is always showing more fruitiness. It's earlier accessible than the 2 other ones, which we're going to taste afterwards. So yeah, nice to see. And this is only the 4th vintage. So 2015 was the first vintage which we bottled separately, because formerly it was just running into a blend. So we see a huge potential in that one. And also, I think you maybe still have 2017 left in you, huh?
I still have some bottles left of 16 and 17. Yeah.
Gorgeous. So 2017 was a bit colder. So it's more a vintage for true Pinot Noir lovers, you could say, because it's a bit more, as you said before, it's more edgy, more sharp. It's a bit more floral and dancing. 2018 is charming, fruit-driven. 2016 is something in between of those two, so it's more acidity-driven, more on the allergen side. I think we have some questions there.
Yeah, in fact, we have a question on someone who is asking, how long can you keep it in the cellar?
So Anselberg, we'll maybe sense that with the two other wines which we taste afterwards. Anselberg is, I would say, a bit shorter than Schlossberg and Eichberg. It's for 2018 vintage, it's a minimum of 8 to 10 years without any struggle.
Okay, and then someone who is giving a remark, because Dimitri is saying we also have older vintages, so it could look like some commercial setting, but it isn't. In fact, it's very interesting, and I can surely tell you that it's very interesting to compare different vintages, to put them next to each other, and to see, in fact, how the wine is going forward and what's the change between the different vintages. So it's very good to have, like Start2Taste, to have different vintages and to put them next to each other and to do a tasting like we do this evening, but from one wine with different vintages. So it's always nice. Yeah.
I guess maybe, Yannik, you can add things, because if, as a Belgian, as a Flemish Belgian, we love to give wine some time.
Yeah.
And if we look to the export market for producers, a lot of producers tell me it's almost only the Belgians who want wines who has a little bit aging on the bottle. Mostly they want the most young wine. But certainly me too, I love to keep them a bit and put them maybe later on the market. So I still have some 16 and 17, but that's the good thing, you know, that's what we love to do, to keep them a little bit and then afterwards.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that is really important, to give wine a certain frame of time to be really, because then you actually have the chance to see how it develops if you have several bottles more, and you see not only the young stage is quite nice, because you can see the influence of the winemaking, you can see how it's been done from the vinification side, and then afterwards it actually turns more out, the vineyard turns more out, so the characteristics of the vineyard, of the soil, of the combination of climates, of the vintage, that is the important thing, and that is only able or only presentable by ripeness. So for me, it's also really important to have certain ripe bottles, especially now for Christmas.
Yeah.
But why not in future, for example, let's say next year, maybe we can organize a tasting like we have now. Hopefully it's not a Zoom session, but a live session. Let's say at Start2Taste with different vintages. Why not? It's a possibility.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I can promise you already we're going to organize that. So
yeah, that sounds great. I was sadly not able to be in Belgium this year, but I hope to be back next year as of
course, only for good friends.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the next wine. We have then number 5, which is Kirkberg.
Kirkberg. So didn't taste that actually for a long time, because it's sold out in the winery since I think now 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks, almost, even more. So it was released in October, just to say that as well. So it's only been on direct sale for 4 weeks. Kirkberg, we have a video of that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We can maybe.
I'll show you first. Kirkberg. Share. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait.
That is the one from the wines, but still.
Schlossberg. No. We have two. This is the old vines.
So this is good to see now as well, because now thinking back to Anselberg, right here we have German wines, which were planted 1975. So this is one of the oldest vineyards which we found actually. It's 45 years old now. And you can see everything is farmed biologically. It's completely green. It's the coldest vineyard which we have, which means it's always more floral, more feminine. I think that's quite good comparison to the Schlossberg, which is coming afterwards. So it's more on the brighter side of fruit. Yeah, that's the video. Maybe right here we can see this really good.
Bitburgunder vineyard, and as you can see, this is mostly limestone soil mixed with some volcanic soil. So really unique. Yeah, old wines right here.
So and that's good to see because it's quite wide open. So really wide open to the valley, which gives a lot of cold air, and it's completely up to the forest, as we just saw. So Franz Keller always says, as we saw the soil, we have a combination of limestone, so the brightest soil which we have, and volcanic soil. So the combination of two unique soil types. And that can only be found in Tanzania. And Tanzania is not so famous for making wine, so it's more like maybe leave it to us. So yeah, I hope
they're actually in Tanzania.
Sorry?
What do they do over there in Tanzania?
I'm not quite sure. I thought you were gonna say I have one wine from Tanzania.
No, not yet. For it now, but I know the soil is the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is quite the same style of vinification to Anselberg, but still we use a bit of more new oak because it's a colder vineyard. So we have 40 to 50%, and it's actually been in barrel as well for 18 months, so for 1.5 years. But as it's only German Pinot Noir clones, we use a higher amount of whole bunch in that one. So whole clusters, which we are adding up to 30%, especially in 2018, because we add the stems to get a bit more freshness, a bit more structure, and a bit more tannins, which I think which give a lot of tension and good of minerality. I'm interested to hear if the people are seeing a difference. So if there is a remarkable difference between Anselberg and Kirkberg, but I think so.
Proeven jullie het verschil tussen de Bourgogne-klonen en de Duitse klonen? Is er iemand die iets wil zeggen? Pieter?
Misschien Dimitri of iemand anders die ik er even wil... Misschien dat er een aantal mensen, ik weet het niet, maar klonen, wij zijn bezig over klonen, dus ik denk dat het misschien interessant is om even te duiden wat is precies een kloon.
I think we were trying, what Hans was telling was maybe it's good that we explain a clone exactly what it is.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So as for nearly all fruit types or everything used in agriculture, every fruit or every plant has different type of clones. So different type of growths. So you have clones which guarantee you get a lot of grapes, you get large berries, high yield, a certain type of fruit. And then we are coming to that later on with Schlossberg, so with the next one. We have different clones which are having completely different things. So less yield, so small berries, which give more aroma, because of course, if you have less grapes on the rootstock, on the vine itself, then the vine will be focusing on only the remaining grapes, so only on the small grapes, and more putting in minerals and vitamins and stuff like that towards to the berries which are on the rootstock, despite one other clone which is having high yield, and large berries, large clusters, which is having that in another concentration, of course. So that was the thing where clones are starting to be accessible, to be practicable by different coopers. So we mostly use Selection Massal, which is Schlossberg, which I'm coming on next, or Burgundy clones for the Pinot Noirs, because that guarantees small berries, clusters, and berries which are hanging loose, so which guarantee that they will be dry after rainfall, so there will be no mold, anything else, and yeah, that's the thing. And of course, those different clones, they have different fruit aromas. Yeah. I think that was the best way to see it, even with Schlossberg.
Ja, misschien gewoon een kleine samenvatting. Een kloon is eigenlijk gewoon een identieke kopie van de moederplant, laat ons zeggen, met identiek dezelfde eigenschappen. Dus we spreken hier over klonen uit Bourgogne-klonen, of we spreken uit Duitse klonen. En blijkbaar geeft dus dat ook een verschil in de smaak van de Pinot Noir. En dat is exact hetgeen dat Dimitri dan net ook vroeg, van smaak je nu echt dat verschil tussen die Burgundy, die Bourgogne-klonen, of de klonen uit Duitsland. En er is wel degelijk een zeer mooi verschil. There's a big difference between both.
Okay, let's go to the apotheose. I don't know if it's an English word actually, but let's go to the last one.
Yeah. There's another question popping up.
We have a question from someone who is asking, did Anselberg has less new oak than Kirkberg?
Yeah, absolutely. Around 10 to 20% less new oak than Kirkberg. So Anselberg has around 30%, and Kirkberg we have up to 50% new oak. Because Anselberg we want to have more earlier accessible than Kirkberg, even if you see it from the level. Yeah. So going to the last but not least.
Maybe I start with the video of the Schlossberg.
Yeah, sounds great.
So, hi again. We are now in the Schlossberg Spätburgunder vineyard. So that's actually all of those vineyards. It's only a small parcel out of the Schlossberg Spätburgunder, so pretty young wines. Farmed biological, as you can see, it's all green. Only 15 years old, and all Burgundy clones Selection Massal. So enjoy the wine.
So, yeah, as we saw, so that is actually only 200 to 300 meters away from Schlossberg Grauburgunder, which we saw previously. So it's on the same hill, but as we discussed before, we have a mix of plots from the bottom of the hill, and then of course on the steeper hills. And Schlossberg Spätburgunder is actually not too old. It's only 20 to 25 years old maximum. It's quite young wines because we replanted completely this vineyard. We decided to use so-called Selection Massal. I'm sure maybe one or the other did heard from that before, but still I'm gonna do a small explaining to that because it's quite a difficult type of explanation, let's say it like that. Selection Massal is you take one wine out of your whole vineyard, which is showing exceptional growth, so which is producing the best berries, loose berries, small berries, and you cutting the wine. in the vineyard, and you take it and you reproduce it actually, which is done by a cooper, not by ourselves. We are actually letting that do in France. So we have a cooper from the Alsace who is a specialist for Burgundy clones, and he's cutting the wine, taking it from one vine in the whole vineyard, which we see a lot of potential, and then we reproduce it and replanted that into another plot. So that's all made with a Sélection Massal. A Sélection Massal is somehow a negative selection, because a positive selection would be to sort out a vine which can produce as much fruit as it can give. So a lot of yield because it gives more money, but the negative selection would be to have that what we are doing, the Sélection Massal, because you have low yields, extremely low yields, but therefore more concentration and more aroma.
How low is low?
Speaking about Schlossberg Spätburgunder, we have up to 40 hectoliter, 35 to 40 hectoliter per hectare, so really low. Yeah, and speaking about Schlossberg, in total production for the Spätburgunder, we have up to 2,200 bottles for 2018. So always depending on the vintage.
So the total production of Schlossberg Spätburgunder is 2,200 bottles.
Yeah, that's it, not more. So it's sold out before it hits the market. It's not on direct sale anymore. It's actually, we sell everything en primeur, as you can say. So by subscription, it's not going into the direct sale into the winery or anything else. It's sold out before it hits the market. So Schlossberg has a really, I can show that because I got it here, a really dark volcanic soil. And the special thing is, you can see the limestone together with so a lot of iron, a lot of volcanic soil, and this gives a lot of smokiness, but still a lot of power. And I think you can see a remarkable difference between those three wines, because it got a more fleshy, fruit-driven nose. It got a lot of power, but still well balanced. And we're only speaking about 12.5 alcohol. So it's how the French say, the iron fist in a velvet cloth. So really showing except.
How does a French say it?
Iron fist in a velvet cloth. I'm not quite sure how it's spoken in French. Huh? Don't ask me about that. Yeah. So for the vinification, we have 60% New York, and then same treatment as for all of the others reds, but only a higher amount of whole bunches, so whole clusters. We added up to 40 or 50%. In some parcels, we have up to 60% where we use these stems, just to give them a bit more a backbone of freshness and a bit more electricity, you could say. Yeah. And 2017 vintage as well, to say that we've been getting 100 points from the Gourmillot, so 100 points from 100, of course, which was the best Pinot Noir produced in Germany. 2018 as well, we had high ratings from Parker and James. So, yeah.
Het is eigenlijk ongelooflijk hoe dat je, als je die wijn nu proeft, die Schlossberg, die formidabel is, hoe dat je die kracht en elegantie kunt verweven. En dat is mijn inziens een teken van iets buitengewoons. Omdat je die super elegantie hebt, die zeer lange afdronk, maar tegelijk ook die kracht en die power. Maar zonder dat het een bodybuilder wordt. Het is, dat evenwicht is exceptioneel, vind ik, in deze wijn. Dus inderdaad, 17 die had 100 op 100. Is iets meer zoals 17 al, we hebben al gezegd. Misschien op lange termijn meer zien 17, maar is iets strakker. Maar blijft zijn typiciteit behouden, uiteraard. Schlossberg hoort tot een van de grootste Spätburgunders uit Duitsland. Zo. Do you like the wines? Iemand? Ik zie mensen knikken.
I would be happy to get some feedback. Everybody is allowed to say or write something. I know this is kind of unusual because I'm almost a guy who's love to be in interaction, to see persons or people directly, and of course the reactions. So this is kind of a new thing to me, but still I would be happy if you could just say if there's anything you liked in particular, if there's if there are differences which you could see, if there's something which you didn't like. Yeah.
Well, in fact, I see some very good comments. What I like, I see, if I go through it, I see someone who is saying he's speechless. So that's very nice indeed. And then a very nice quote that it combines power with elegance. And I think if we talk about Franz Keller winery and wines, we talk about elegance and power in some wines. You have these Pinot Noirs, for example, with some power in it. I see someone who's saying toppy. Someone is saying, I taste in the red wines very much cherries. How come? Maybe it's good to give already an answer to that one.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is the thing about 2018. 2018 was because we had so much heat. Just to give you an idea, we picked the Pinot Noirs on the 16th of August, which means in the middle of summer. We usually, if you see the last 5 years or the last 6 years, when I came to the winery, we were starting end of September, the earliest, or mid-October. So we are now 8 weeks earlier than usual, but that was necessary because 2018 was so bold, you could say. It's really, really charming, fruit-driven. So that is why it turns out that there are coming so many cherries. So we didn't put any cherries in there or any aromas. So it's only because of the heat, which gave a lot more fruit to the Pinot Noirs than we had 2017 or 2016. But of course, that's the type of the clones as well. So Burgundy clones, they give more cherry style aromatics than those German Pinot Noir clones, which we had in the Kirkberg, which give more raspberry, strawberry-like, or more rose petals, stuff like that. So it's always a type of clones and climate combination.
Okay, perfect. So then I see someone who is saying, I like the combination of having the videos on the vineyards and the comparison of the different plots, the why behind it.
Nice.
Because in fact, that's a very good remark, talking about vineyards on top of the hills, the steep hills, and some at the bottom, the difference between both. So the person is also saying it's a nice concept, I love it. And someone is saying it's top. Someone, I just go to it, perfect example of how Spätburgunder or Pinot Noir can give so different expressions. Huh?
Yeah.
The French would call it, the person is saying also the French would call it terroir expression. And
absolutely,
that's a perfect explanation of the different soils you showed us and what is the translation in the wine, for example. And also someone who is saying it's a very good tip that to open in front or to pour out the wines because they develop in the glass.
Absolutely, yeah, they need some time,
Yeah, they need some time in the glass. You see they're developing in the glass. Someone who is looking forward also to see they're developing under the sun and the influence also, because you told us that as of next year you will start with biological winemaking, and to see what that is giving, because there's a lot to do about biological winemaking, but to see what will it give in the future. Someone who is saying this is top, Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No,
Until
you're right. So thank you very much for all the comments. I'm really appreciating that. It shows us that we are currently on the right path. Yeah, biological, of course, that's something which is just adding maybe another dimension. So just speaking about those vintages as well, we farm biological now since 5 years without certification, because of course it needs time. It needs time if you're buying vineyards from other people to do a conversion from classical farming to biological farming. So we didn't use any herbicides, any insecticides, anything else in the last 5 years, just to see how they are going back to vital life, let's say like that. Yeah, so really, really good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, someone is adding very nice wines, and if you leave them open in the glass, it's a pity we have the small bottles.
Yeah.
Because if you leave them open in the glass, they develop in time. So it's very nice to see change in the glass.
Absolutely. Well, next time we'll make sure that we do a tasting with full bottles, hopefully not the Corona version. So then located in the winery or either in Belgium. And I make sure to bring not only 10 centiliter bottles, I bring full bottles. We have plenty of those, and we can make a usual tasting, hopefully. I think there's another question.
We'll just have a little check.
Yeah.
What kind of taps? Yeah, it's a nice question, because sometimes there's a lot to do about it. What kind of taps do you use to close the bottles? Dus wat voor kurken worden er gebruikt om voor de fles af te sluiten?
So just, you mean the closure type for the bottles, or how they bottled? Okay, yeah, I knew that that was going to come, so I prepared it. Cork, natural cork. So we are sourcing
of a good quality, because if you had them in your hand, you really feel it's not just a cork.
No, it's so just maybe that's a secret, let's call it like that. So those corks which we are using, they're usually from 2 to 4 euros per thing. So really well controlled. We are sourcing it from 2 producers, which guarantees that we are mainly having less than 2% cork bottles on the whole production of 400,000 bottles, 450,000 bottles. So nearly nothing. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Comments, questions? I don't know. How did you experience this all? How do you like the bottles, the small bottles? Wines were in good conditions, I guess. I tasted them, they were also good. Iemand, ook in het Nederlands natuurlijk.
Ja, voilà. Dus als er mensen zijn die zeggen van ja, maar ik ga nu geen commentaar geven via de chat, feel free. Je kunt gerust achteraf via mail of sms, je hebt mijn gsm-nummer, bel mij dus nooit op. Voor ons is het interessant om een beetje te leren, voor ons is het enorm leuk. Natuurlijk, ja, in live is het nog leuker, maar dit denk ik is een zeer goed idee van Dimitri om zoiets te organiseren. Om toch een beetje het gevoel te hebben dat we een community zijn en dat we levensgenieters zijn en meerwaardezoekers. Dat is hetgeen dat we dikwijls bij Start2Taste ook zeggen. Wij zijn er voor de meerwaardezoekers en de levensgenieters. Ik zou zeggen, ja, Dimitri, als je nog dingen toe te voegen hebt, doe maar gerust.
Het was een eer en een genoegen om jullie allemaal bij ons te hebben. We hebben een 16 uur en een half en wij hebben ons eigenlijk daar perfect aan gehouden, zie ik. Ik wil u ook nog meegeven dat wij de mensen die aanwezig zijn op deze tasting ergens willen bedanken op die een of andere manier. En toen dachten we van ja, als mensen zouden willen bestellen, dan gaan we jullie een mooie korting geven. Dus wij gaan je 10% korting geven op jouw bestelling. Doe dat niet online, want als je dat online doet, dan komt die korting daar niet in. Dus jullie hebben een mail gekregen van ons. We gaan misschien morgen nog een mailtje sturen. Die promotie gaat door tot morgenmiddag. Dus tot morgen om 12 uur. Dus als je daarvoor bestelt, krijg je van ons 10% op Hans het gamma van Franz Keller. Dat is het idee. Dus we gaan zien. Hè? We hopen dat jullie allemaal massaal bestellen natuurlijk. Ik heb alleszins genoten van deze degustatie. Jullie blijkbaar ook. Hoe lang gaan die flesjes nog mee? Ja, ze zijn nu natuurlijk open. Hè. We hebben ze boordevol gedaan, dus was er eigenlijk geen zuurstof in. Nu doe je ze open. De kunst is van eraf te blijven. Hè. Dat zal al een grote uitdaging zijn. Maar ja, zoals dat je gewoon een fles open doet, 2-3 dagen lijkt mij het absoluut maximum. En dat zijn nu in kleine flesjes. Ik zou ze toch niet lang meer laten openstaan. Maar morgenavond en misschien de avond erop is zeker geen probleem. Voilà.
And misschien also I want to add that someone is giving the comment, many thanks to Yannik. It's an excellent speaker. So Yannik, thanks a lot.
Thank you as well. It was a pleasure meeting all of you online. I hope to see you next time, as I said, personally, either in Belgium or directly in the winery. So you're all welcome, because I'm more the kind of personal type, let's call it like that, but still that was a pretty nice format. I much enjoyed it. So yes, I hope I get to know you by person. So yeah, many thanks to all of you for listening, and of course tasting the wines, purchasing the wines, and yeah.
We gaan sowieso een reis organiseren naar daar. Dat komt in de toekomst. Nu, we gaan dat dit jaar al doen. We gaan reizen naar Duitsland, naar Portugal, naar Rusland. Naar overal gaan we reizen organiseren waar dan jullie eigenlijk op uitgenodigd zijn. Maar bon, jullie worden nu wel op de hoogte gebracht van al hetgeen dat we doen. Je schrijft je in of je schrijft je niet in. Dat is uiteindelijk het idee. Ik wil ook nog meegeven dat wij aanstaande dinsdag hetzelfde doen, maar dan met de Douro, Portugal. Dan hebben we Alves de Souza, die ook tot 2 maal toe tot wijnmaker van het jaar verkozen is in Portugal. Exceptionele wijnen. We hebben de dochter, Patricia de Souza, die voor ons zal spreken. En er is ook één, dat is nu eigenlijk een première, want niemand weet dat nog eigenlijk. Ik heb het hier juist opgeschreven, dat ik dat niet verkeerd zeg. Op 14 januari hebben we Stéphane Tissot uit de Jura, die wij ook op deze manier zullen een tasting doen. En een keer kijken wat hij te vertellen heeft en zo verder. En meer. Dus er komen nog dingen. We gaan ook experimenteren met verticale tastings met die kleine flesjes. Alleen niet experimenteren, dat heb ik al gedaan. En dat werkt. Dus ze blijven goed in die flesjes. Ze zeggen, volg ons. Spread the taste, not the virus. Wij hopen uiteraard van jullie allemaal terug te zien. Is het hier in Waregem? Is het op deze manier? We verlangen ernaar om jullie terug te mogen ontvangen. Op gelijk welke manier.
En ik zou sowieso willen erbij voegen iets wat Yannik told us. He told us that Franz Keller, the wines, it's like you're pouring a wine, drinking a glass, and while drinking, if it's empty in one moment and you want a second glass because you want to smell it again, you want to taste it again. En laat dat nu net een beetje het credo zijn van Start2Taste. Dat zeggen wij, Dimitri en ik, dikwijls tegen iedereen die het wil horen, zeggen wij van eigenlijk is dat de bedoeling met al de wijnen dat we hebben, dat je zin hebt om nog een keer te ruiken, nog een glas te drinken, nog eens te proeven. En voordat je het weet, is uw fles uit natuurlijk.
En voilà. Met deze mooie woorden is het gedaan. Ik zou zeggen, we gaan een afterdrink doen. Hè. Dat mag, als je wilt. Houden we de chat nog een beetje open. Voor de mensen die iets willen zeggen. Het is een beetje café nu. Hè. Als je dat ziet zitten, wil je de chat verlaten of deze sessie verlaten. Feel free. Maar bon, voor ons is het eigenlijk gedaan. Maar we kunnen geen afscheid pakken of zo. Hè. Dat gebeurt een keer. Hè. En dat hebben wij nu. Dus mochten er mensen zijn die een keer iets willen vertalen of iets willen delen, met veel plezier hebt dan ook mensen die willen luisteren en willen meedoen. Thank you very much.
Where's the beer? There's no beer.
Thank you to you too. Well, you did perfect, professional. As always, I didn't expect anything else with sending those parcels and making small bottles. So exceptional. Thank you very much.
It is a pleasure. And we will see each other soon again back at the Vineyard.
Hopefully, or in Belgium. Well, take care, everybody. Next time, I make sure to bring some Magnum bottles instead of.
Fantastisch.
Oké.
Allee, het café is open. Hè. Iemand?
Dat is heel goed, hè? Dimitri? Dat is zeer goed georganiseerd.
Dankjewel. Het is onze eerste keer, dus we willen het eigenlijk altijd maar beter doen. Hè? Maar het is een beetje wennen, want je moet met die knopjes en je moet die chat in de gaten houden en je moet... het is zo'n klein beetje ijsachtig het gevoel zo, dat je op ijs staat. Maar...
Je hebt het ook al gevonden van een achtergrond hebben. Dus,
Nee, dat is de nachten. Dat is dus niet vals.
Is dat de nachten? Hey, ja. Ik heb van mij, ik zit niet in de wijngaan.
Ik kan me een keer verzetten met de achtergrond, dus ik curieus wat erachter zit. Ik kan maar verschuiven, niet?
Ja.
Dus ja. Blijf staan, gelukkig. Maar trouwens, Copain, voor mensen die het niet kennen, maar Copain is eigenlijk de ultieme Picon Vin Blanc. Moet je zeker een keer proberen voor die het nog niet kenden. Copain voor de vrienden.
Nu komt de verkoper echt naar boven. Hè.
Ah, dat is het.
Schitterend. Nee, het was dik in orde. Een chapeau. Ja. Je voelde het dat in het begin zo'n beetje stroef was en dat zo'n beetje podiumvrees, ik ga het zo zeggen. Hè. Maar eigenlijk ging dat vrij vlot. Ja. Die filmpjes zijn een heel grote meerwaarde.
Ja, ik vind dat ook, ja.
Ja, op een bepaald moment wou Dimitri aan mij vragen van proefde het verschil tussen die Duitse en die Bourgondische klonen. En eigenlijk moest ik blind de twee gewoon voor mij krijgen, zodat ik de Bourgondische klonen eigenlijk als Duitse, effectief als Spätburgunder gaan omschrijven en de Duitse klonen als een Bourgogne gaan omschrijven. Ik wou het je gewoon maar meegeven. Ja. Persoonlijk, hè, gewoon in de neus. Als ik echt zo... was ik totaal op verkeerde benen zet. Als ik heel eerlijk ben aan mezelf. Ja.
Tuurlijk, ja, dat is goed.
Ja. Maar dat is ook, je kunt dat ook als een compliment zien. Hè. Absoluut. Dus,
misschien hebben we het etiketje verkeerd hangt bij jou, dat kan natuurlijk ook.
Dat kan ook. Ja, ik zie het u eigenlijk wel nog doen. Hè. Nee, maar zeer mooi. Ook die Grauburgunder. Een groot compliment daarvoor. Straffend toebak, ja, absoluut. Ter waar gedreven, dat had ook iemand gezegd. Ter waar gedreven wijnen van begin tot eind.
Ja, ik ben nogthans geen... ik ga dat woord niet rap gebruiken, ter waar, maar hier kun je toch echt zo proeven. Hè? Allee, proeven. Je voelt dat daar verschil in zit. Ja. En qua vinificatie is het allemaal niet zo verschillend. Dus het is verrassend dat de Engelsberger was het zeker, dat minder hout heeft dan die Kirkberg daar. Hè. Dus,
ja.
Dat zou het niet... Allee, ik zou dat niet zeggen, maar ja. Ook de bescheidenheid.
Ja, een subtiele verschillen soms natuurlijk. Hè.
Ja.
Maar Pinot Noir, als je Pinot Noir zoals dit proeft, hoe zou ik het zeggen? Het is niet te geloven dat je soms mensen, dat Pinot Noir soms niet lekker kan zijn, maar dit is absoluut top in Pinot Noir. Trouwens ook al er een instap van Meleus, hebben we niet gezegd, maar dat kost 15,95 en 2018, dat is instant pleasure, hè? Daar ongecompliceerd, maar zo leuk, zo sappig, zo... Ja. Pinot Noir kan in principe niet goedkoop zijn. Lage rendementen, zowel in de wijngaard als uit Ampest en zo verder. Ja, ik ben altijd onder de indruk als ik deze wijnen proef.
Ja.
Maar de kunst is ook van de gepaste houtdosage te hebben. En we hebben dat hier heel goed in. Dat je zo overdrijft dan niet in. En je tracht niet te veel tannines te zoeken met hout en zo. Dus qua tannines was dat ook heel... die zijn echt perfect gemaakt. Ja. Nu, ik vind die formule hier ook interessant, omdat je op je gemak zit te proeven. Hè? Ja. Als je...
De gezelligheid van je woonkamer.
Ja.
En de comfort van je woonkamer heel plezant op die manier.
Ja. Dus je neemt toch wel meer tijd om te proeven dan dat je in de winkel passeert, bij wijze van spreken. Niet of in tasting. Hè?
Ook het volume dat je meekrijgt. 10 centiliter, vind ik een zeer royale portie. Hè. Absoluut.
Oh.
Voor u alleen of eventueel als uw vrouw meedoet, ja, dan moet je een beetje delen. Dat is misschien wat moeilijker met deze wijn, maar...
Maar met die portie gaat dat nog net. Ja, nog gaat net. Ja.
Om alleen op te drinken of om te delen?
Maar als zo'n goede wijn zijn,
Ja.
is het moeilijk om te delen.
Ja, dat is waar. Dat kan ik alleen maar bevestigen. Top. Ja, en ook, je zou misschien denken, Schlossberg, je 85 euro particulier, als ik het goed op heb. Ja. Je zou pijzen dat dat veel geld is, maar je moet een keer die kwaliteit proberen vinden in Bourgogne, voor die prijs.
Ja.
Zeker de laatste jaren, zeldzaam, en ga je dat niet terugvinden. Dus chapeau, absoluut. Ja. Veel liever een fles daarvan dan ik moet opletten wat ik zeg, maar middelmaat in Bourgogne. Ja.
Ja, ben ik ook.
Die Schlossberg, hoe lang mag je die nog in de kelder laten liggen?
Je kunt het van eraf te blijven, Tony, natuurlijk, maar maybe I'm going to ask the question, so Yannik also, because Yannik is still there, but he doesn't understand what we are saying. He's just...
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. The question is, how this Schlossberg 18, how long can this age?
Well, it's something like, it's not easy to answer, let's put it like this, because it's like taking a look into a crystal ball. But for me personally, 2018 can age perfect because it got a lot of structure, tannins and acidity. Besides the charming fruit. So for me, easily this can age 10 to 15 years.
Ik zeg altijd, Tony, eigenlijk kan je zo lang bewaren of dat je zelf wilt. Op het moment dat je hem hier gekocht hebt, doe je er niet wat je wilt. Voor alle duidelijkheid. Maar het is niet, nu is die lekker. En eigenlijk moet je een wijn drinken als je hem lekker vindt. Deze wijn kan misschien 15, 20 jaar bewaren, maar hij zal veranderen. En hij zal misschien niet meer jouw smaak zijn. Ondanks het feit dat hij goed blijft en goed is. Maar het fruit zal verdwijnen. De vraag is dan, waar zit jouw smaakprofiel natuurlijk? Het is leuk om te experimenteren, maar al heel snel moet je misschien een keer oudere kopen. Dat kan, je kunt dat een keer proberen. Of bij op een of andere degustatie, zoals dit bijvoorbeeld. Dat een keer oudere open gedaan worden. En dan ga je snel merken van waar heb ik het liefst. De jeugd of weer maar die tertiaire noemen ze dan. Die aroma's die komen door flesrijping. Dat is zeer persoonlijk. En het is niet omdat ze 20 jaar kunnen bewaren, dat ze voor jou 20 jaar zouden lekker zijn.
Oké, ja. Maar voor mij was het hoe verder dat we in de tasting kwamen, hoe meer dat we in mijn smaakpalet kwamen.
Je hebt een goede smaak, hè? Ja, dat is zo, ja.
Maar het plezante met Pinot Noir is ook op het moment dat het van fruit naar tertiair gaat, dat ze aan het pinoteren zijn. Hè? Dus het is eigenlijk nog een derde categorie. Hetgeen dat je zegt, Dimitri. Hè? Tussen het fruit en tertiair is er nog zo'n moment dat je de omschakeling hebt. En bij Pinot Noir is dat het meest heerlijke moment, denk ik. Maar de vraag is wanneer is dat met deze wijn natuurlijk. Hè?
Jullie kunnen nog een keer een lijstje mailen of nu projecteren welke wijn we allemaal gedronken hebben, zodat we weten wat we moeten bestellen om ons korting te kunnen pakken.
Zeker en vast. Als ik dat hoor, dan spiek ik hier zoiets in hang natuurlijk.
Commerçant.
En wat jij vindt, ja, we moeten niet.
Geboren en getogen.
Ik zal beginnen met de eerste wijn. Dit was wijn nummer 1. Maar ik ga sowieso de lijst, gaan we jullie nog een keer doormailen. Je hebt die gehad per mail, maar we gaan hem een keer opnieuw doen. Maar dit was wijn nummer 1. Wijn nummer 2, dat was een Schlossberg in Grauburgunder. Wijn nummer 3 was de eerste Pinot Noir Oberberner Basgeike. Ja. Wijn nummer 4. Als krap gaan we het zeggen, hè? Nummer 4 hadden we de Anselberg. Dus allemaal 2018 in rood. Nummer 5. De Kirkberg. Alsjeblieft. En dan weer nummer 6. Schlossberg. Dit ga je nu nooit meer vergeten, denk ik. Schlossberg.
Nee, inderdaad.
Ja. En nu zit normaal als iemand het logo van Start2Taste dan een keer extra projecteert, maar bon, bij deze weet je het al waarschijnlijk.
Ik ga juist nog een keer een eet doen. Ja, ik heb ondertussen al wat wijn gedronken, dus ik ben iets gedaan.
Fantastisch. Wij nummer 1. Yes, we have.
Ja. Perfect, dank u wel.
Misschien moet je van de eerste keer je bestelling doorgeven. Hey.
Anders moet mijn spelletjes spelen. Wie kijkt wat het meest bestelt?
Hey. En de persoon die het meest bestelt, krijgt dan ook de grootste korting?
Dat personen bij je thuis leveren. Misschien nog een goed dat we dan samen zouden uitdrinken.
Een extra kurkentrekker, Pieter.
Dat heb ik daarnet ook al gehad in de doos.
Ja, dat is heel praktisch, zo'n kurkentrekker met zo'n flesjes.
Er zitten er 2 in, basic bij sommigen. Kan het? 2 kurkentrekkers, toch niet? Ah, ja.
Nu voel ik mij officieel benadeeld.
Ja.
Maar ik heb hier nog een. Die nu eerst hier is, die mag hem in. God ja, het is plezant. Het is, het doet me plezier dat het geapprecieerd wordt. En dat we nu, die café is eigenlijk nog het hele waar je naar uitkijkt, dat mensen allemaal wel een keer iets zeggen en een keer meedoen en een keer te spreken. Ja, want dat missen we nu allemaal wel een beetje.
Nee, maar dat is echt wel leuk. Het heeft zijn nadelen uiteraard, maar het heeft ook zijn voordelen. Het feit dat je moet rijden, scheelt.
Ja, inderdaad. Volledig mee eens.
Het feit dat je in de gezelligheid van je eigen woonkamer zit, scheelt ook. Je hebt de interactiemogelijkheden met heel het platform. Je hebt interactiviteit, je hebt bijkomend beeldmateriaal. Het heeft een aantal voordelen. Uiteraard willen we het menselijk contact, maar het is zeker een mooi alternatief.
Ja, want anders met de wijnmaker gaat dat 5 minuutjes, of misschien 10 minuten mee praten, het is gedaan. Hè? Dus, ja. Dus, het heeft voor- en nadelen.
Ja.
Maar ik denk zelfs na de coronatijd dat dat nog ergens een plaats gaat hebben. Ja. Dus, denk ik persoonlijk.
Tuurlijk.
Ik vind het grote voordeel dat je niet meer naar huis moet rijden en dat je gerust kunt drinken en genieten. Zonder dat je moet pijzen, dat je moet blazen.
Ik zie dat Remco en Charlotte volledig akkoord zijn met hetgeen dat je zegt.
Lief?
Remco, zeg ook een keer iets.
Ze zijn uit beeld voor het moment.
Je hebt er beneden gezakt. Allee, fantastisch. Hè.
Voilà.
Voilà, ik denk dat we, ja,
We kunnen afsluiten. Hè.
denk ik even kunnen wij nog wat flessen openen misschien. Maar ja, dus altijd welkom in de winkel ook. Ik zou zeggen, bij ons in Start2Taste Waregem hebben we altijd zeer veel flessen onder Coravin staan, zoals de meeste onder jullie wel weten. Dus we hebben zeer veel dingen te proeven. Dus altijd welkom in Waregem. We zijn iedere dag 's namiddags open, we zijn zaterdag open, we zijn zondag voormiddag open. Dus wees welkom om verder te babbelen, zou ik zeggen, maar dan 1-to-1 of 1-to-2.
Ja, en we doen ook nu trouwens zoiets speciaals. Wij zeggen fuck corona, wij gaan op restaurant. En op sociale media kun je zien dat wij restaurants bezoeken. En dat wij tonen wat een restaurateur nu eigenlijk aan het doen is. Wat zij doen, wat zij bezighoudt. En wij gaan bij onze klanten, ja, 1 voor 1 natuurlijk, we kunnen niet overal gaan. Maar we zijn bezig, we doen onze tour aan het verder doen. En zo zie je een keer de persoon achter het restaurant, zie je misschien ook de persoon die je mist. Want ja, een restaurant waar je veel gaat is wel een gemis natuurlijk. En zie wat dat zij doen, wat dat hen typeert. Dus het is wel een keer... Het is soms emotioneel, het is down to earth, het is uit het hart. En dat is zeer mooi. Dus ik zou zeggen, bekijk ze een keer. Het zijn er nu een stuk of 3 gepost, binnenkort de 4e, en zo verder en zo verder. Dus ja, we proberen een positieve boodschap over te brengen in al wat we doen. Kijk, bij deze positieve ding hebben we het een beetje gezegd. Hè. Allemaal bedankt.
Salut.
Groetjes.
Bye bye.
Salut.
Tada.
Tada.
Als je telefoon met je lief durf ik niet opduwen. Hè. Ik zie je. Hij durft niet opduwen.
Nu gaan we zeer afduwen.
Ja, allee. Ja, Davia, sorry dat je het hebt gezien. Hoe is het met jou?
Ja, wij gaan ook zachtjes afronden, maar we vonden het, om het op zijn hand te zeggen, vrijwijs. Ja. Echt waar. Ja. En voor dinsdag gaan we ook participeren.
Maar ook omdat we er zelf ook al geweest zijn.
Ja,
tuurlijk. Ja, dat zou wel zijn.
Ja, dus voilà. We gaan nogal bestellen.
Mogen wij dan zo'n achtergrond van restaurant Obliques de Merelbeek hier zetten?
Je moet dat doen. Ik verwacht dat nu de volgende keer van jullie. Kijk, ik ben al benieuwd wat dat gaat.
Zullen we kijken of dat technisch mogelijk is?
Heb nog een paar dagen, hè? Dat zou wel lukken.
Ja, nee, maar we vonden het echt vrijwijs. Merci voor de ervaring.
Dank u wel.
Salutjes.
Salut.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for all the explanation.
You
Thank
are
you
still
very
here.
much.
Thank you for listening.
I don't have any wine anymore, damn.
Already sold out.
Dimitri, ik ga nog een keer straks afkomen naar de winkel.
Kijk, jij nog een beetje Schlossberg, ongeveer nog zoveel.
Ik zal nog afkomen.
Te laat.
Ik denk dat ik rapper ga zijn daar. Dat ik daar rapper ga zijn.
Ja. Een lockdownfeestje.
Oei. Ziet ons met een drone overvliegen?
Nee, we gaan braaf zijn.
Nee. In een kot.
Het wordt opgepakt, dus we moeten braaf zijn nu. Hè.
Ah ja, oei. Ik ga niks meer zeggen.
Yannik, how did you experience it? You liked it?
I liked it, yeah. Well, of course, I prefer, as I said, times being in personal. But anyhow, that was, well, from my side, it was quite good. I'm happy. It would have been interesting to see how the small bottles taste. But you tasted as well from the half bottles or from the small bottles, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the only thing I'd be interested in. But
Peter, also, how did you the experience with the small bottles?
No, everything was perfect. I didn't had influences of oxidation.
Okay.
So no, by the first glass, the Weissburgunder, I was doubting a little bit.
Yeah.
But afterwards, you were explaining about vinification, and then I said, yeah, okay, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
All the rest was perfect. Also the 10 centiliters.
Yeah.
The volume was perfect for tasting like this. No, well organized. The two wines for me that popped out were the Schlossberg Grauburgunder.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Schlossberg Spätburgunder as well. It's for sure, but the Kirkberg I was also very surprised by. But everything actually, yeah. So I'm going to order also a little bit, but not so much. No.
Doesn't matter, everybody.
But But certainly looking forward to travel again and to visit Germany back. I normally at the end of November I had the idea to travel for 3 days to Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID blocked everything.
Well, hopefully next year.
Yeah.
Make sure you stop by.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. When I saw the picture of the restaurant and the look over the vineyard, I was dreaming. Back in time. I think 4 or 5 years ago, I was there together with my wife in the restaurant. So so I only have good memory. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
Yeah, so I only have good memories about the place. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Dimitri.
Next
time, it's your treat. Yeah?
We didn't talk about the Kaiserstuhl actually, like this.
Yeah. Wonderful. Huh?
Yeah. or this is the building. Maybe I showed this. I didn't know anymore. Did I show this picture?
No.
No, you didn't show it. No.
This is really the building is unbelievable. You know, it's
it's integrated in the vineyards. Huh?
Yeah.
So it's impressive. Huh?
Yeah. Ik zie hier nog iemand die aanwezig is, waar ik eigenlijk zeer graag een keer de commentaar van zou horen. Ik zie dat ze zich verplaatst hebben, Remco en Charlotte.
Remco en Charlotte.
Dus misschien kunnen jullie zich eens unmuten en een keer jullie impressie geven. Graag.
They are still listening. It's a Dutch guy, so I don't know if you are going to understand him.
Anders ga ik kijken. Ik kan jullie unmuten. Wacht.
Lukt dat?
Ja, normaal gezien wel. Nee.
Ja.
Ja.
Ja. Zijn ik er iets?
Zo, shoot. Charlotte en Remco, wat vonden jullie ervan? Jullie micro staat waarschijnlijk niet aan, denk ik.
Nee hoor, ga niet.
Ja, nu hoor ik jullie. Nee?
Ik denk dat het via de gsm is of zo. Nee? Of de iPad.
Dan moet die mensen, we geven die mensen nu zoveel stress eigenlijk om wat te zeggen.
Ik weet het, maar ik zag dat ze aanwezig waren en ik dacht van, ik ga het een keer vragen.
Remco kan er wel tegen. En Charlotte ook. Zie je iPad. Zet een keer uw geluid aan. Misschien dat helpt.
Misschien, ja.
De micro marcheert niet. Uitvluchten.
Ik ben content, want ik heb wat we ook gaan proberen met oudere jaargangen. Ik heb een test gedaan met die kleine flesjes met oudere jaargangen. So, sorry in English. I did a test with older vintages.
Okay, yeah.
Great when I do older vintage in a small bottle and then send it and wait a couple of days to taste it. You know, what's going to happen? And I was surprised about the result.
Okay.
They need air. Actually, they need air if you open them.
They need a lot of air.
Yeah. But do you remember the experience we had in Vinto a few years ago? I always tell to people if they ask me what is your biggest mistake as sommelier, mistake. Dimitri had a bottle of Musar 72 with him in the restaurant, and I opened the bottle, and from a natural reaction, you don't think about decanting. No, you put small glasses. But I had to look from Dimitri to get one glass that I kept aside, so I could follow the evolution. And if I see how the wine developed afterwards, I said, that was actually my biggest mistake to serve it in small glasses. With as less possible influence of oxygen, but that was actually my mistake. It needed air and time, so so older wines, not all the older wines, but that's certainly a good remark from Dimitri.
Yeah.
That's typical for Musar, because I read an article not so long ago of Sergio Hochar, who had a meeting with Jancis Robinson, and they were together at the apartment of Jancis, I guess. And he said, we're going to drink now a Musar of, I don't know, it was 35 years old at that time, I guess. And he said, we're going to drink of this wine the whole day. So they poured a glass, they did the interview, they tasted the wine, but they said, you need to keep it until tonight, because I want to show you how it's going to evolve. Even a wine of 30, 35 years old.
It is.
Evolves, definitely Musar, because it needs a lot of air. Always decant Chateau Musar, otherwise you miss a lot of things.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not quite sure where I read it, but it's somehow a nice text which I really enjoy, because I always think of that. It's not, imagine you've been in a bottle for like 30 or 40 years, and then you come out of such a volume into a glass, and then you need to be there just straight away. So it's like somebody getting you out of bed in the middle of the night, putting you on stage and tell you to sing. So it's not easy like that, and it's time. So it's the same for wine sometimes. It's just, you will need, of course, you as we heard, it needs a lot of, we want to see the evolution in the wine. So we need to pay attention. We need to have the right glasses, and somehow that needs different situations or different glassware, or flexibility. Sometimes you need to be really choosing carefully, and I think that's the most complicated, but as well the most important thing, just to give those wines enough time to develop. Ja.
Remco en Charlotte, jullie hebben het gevonden. Fantastisch.
Ja, het passeert eindelijk.
Join the club. En, toen ben ik benieuwd om uw stem te horen.
Het was echt supergoed. De porties waren echt meer dan voldoende. We hebben dat 2 keer besteld, maar ja, het was goed. Het was onze eerste keer om dat op deze manier te doen. En het is ons zeker wel bevallen. Dus gaat ons vaker zien, denk ik.
Zeer goed.
Ja, er was al interesse. Voor 14 januari heb ik gezien in de chat.
Ja, zeker.
Ja.
Ja, maar jullie zitten nu in het systeem, om het dan zo te zeggen. Dus jullie krijgen zeker aan vast. Dit ligt trouwens nog maar pas van deze namiddag vast. Dus, we moeten nog fine-tunen natuurlijk, maar jullie krijgen de mail per kerende. En het leuke is, via deze manier, dat er eigenlijk geen limiet is qua personen.
Mm-hmm. Ja, klopt.
Dus ik kan 100 keer dat pakket opsturen, bij wijze van spreken. Dus,
Al 2 keer is voldoende.
Het enige wat er in mijn agenda staat, is dat mijn vuilnis staat moet buiten zetten. Dus dat komt wel goed.
Het is ook wel, het is de bedoeling dat iedereen die deelgenomen heeft, dus iedereen die er vanavond bij was, sowieso als eerste ook de mail krijgt voor de volgende degustaties. Ik denk dat die interesse is er bij die mensen, dus het is dan ook goed dat jullie in de eerste plaats staan om op de hoogte gebracht te worden over verdere degustaties. Dus zodra dan een tissot vast ligt, krijgen jullie als eerste de mail.
Ja, dat is goed.
Top.
Ga je beperken reservaties?
Ik denk het niet. Ik denk, het is perfect mogelijk zoals we het nu doen. Het is natuurlijk qua zichtbaarheid goed op het scherm. Maar als er meer mensen, die kabeltjes wat kleiner zijn, het is perfect haalbaar, denk ik.
Nee, het is waar. Absoluut.
En niet iedereen babbelt door elkaar, iedereen staat op mute en als iemand iets wil zeggen via de chat is dat perfect, of nu in live. Dus dat werkt wel.
Het idee van een café op het einde is denk ik spontaan gekomen. Misschien dat was niet gepland volgens mij. Nee, maar ik vind dat wel een goed idee. Een goed iets om te herhalen. Omdat je voelt dat niet iedereen direct durft spreken. En afwacht totdat er wat wat minder mensen zijn, of allee, snapte?
Het
Ik
staat
ben
in
ook...
een live degustatie uiteindelijk. Hè. Een live
Ja.
degustatie. Ook mensen die wat op de achtergrond blijven. En als de rest weg is, dan gaan babbelen met de wijnman.
Ja, klopt.
Ja,
Dus,
zelf van kennen, hè.
Ken je dat? Ja.
maar uiteindelijk draai je het allemaal rond één ding, Charlotte. En dat is dat je het lekker vindt. Hè. En dat is de drijfveer, of dat maakt het allemaal belangrijk, ik ga het zo zeggen. Dus,
Ja, dat is waar, maar ik vond het toch een leek.
ja, maar iedereen die aanwezig was, was een leek.
Ja, zwaar. Vond je het want het is moeilijk, want we hebben sommeliers onder ons. Sorry in English. We have sommeliers under us. We have private customers under us. We have people who have no knowledge, and we have people who have a lot of knowledge. So it's difficult to aim on this scale to explain things. Did you feel it was, and then I asking to the audience which was attending, did you feel that it was or maybe too easy or too difficult, or did we find that balance to discuss?
I thought you find the balance, but sometimes in English the terms are not that easy for me. But I have a translator with me, so then it was okay. But sometimes it was a little bit too difficult. But in the in het algemeen, it was okay for understanding.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but the wine was good.
That's the main thing.
But sometimes I think that the explanation sometimes is a little bit in details, what is normal, and it's good for people who are into it. But it's always nice that someone afterwards gives a little synthesis about what is said, but in some easier words, let's say.
Yeah,
or in Dutch.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now we see Yannik.
I already see some nice stories on Instagram, so that's also good.
Okay. So next time after Souza, then Tissot. We have some nice projects in the future which are coming. So I'm looking forward to now continue. This is like a start, actually. A start, because it was the first time we organized it like this. It's important to have the feedback, and then it gives now our motivation to go further, or it says you are a stupid guy, stop it to do something else. But
no, it's not. I think it's good. Myself, actually, I didn't do any online tasting until now, so it was good for us as well for me to explore the possibilities of online tasting, and I think it's a great format to especially those days, to give the best possible insight to wineries and wines. And I think you have another possibility or option to take a look to the vineyard, to the wines, but of course not in person, but still it's like you could connect the emotional part of winemaking or the characteristics of the vineyards to the wine. So I think that's
why I asked you to make the movies in the
vineyard. And that was perfect. Yeah,
and it doesn't need to be with a director or a professional camera. No, just your phone and say, hey, I'm here in the vineyard. Look, this is why it calls Schlossberg.
Absolutely.
And that's it, nothing more.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
It is.
Just a question to you, Yannik. So from next year, so from the vintage 2021 or 2020, you will go to bio certification.
Yeah.
Is it the intention to go further to biodynamic, or it's an evolution in the winery, and what is the intention of it?
Good question. it's the thing is, we always think about being of course trustful, and thinking about in an ecological and in the most ecological way, but still preserving nature. So the thing was that we always tried it in the vineyards. In some vineyards with biological farming. So as I said, for the last 5 years, we didn't use any herbicides, insecticides and stuff like that. But we wanted to see how it developed because we took over the vineyards from classical farming to that. And of course, that's tough for vineyards if you farm those for 20 or 30 years. By that, it needs some time to convert. But speaking about biodynamic, we have vineyards in all of those plots which we tasted, which we farm completely biodynamic. So which means we use green tea, stuff like that. And just to see how it, in comparison, because we have the option to put them apart from the other barrels. So we do different barrels. We have those which we have biological, we have biodynamical. So we can always see the differences from quality in the wines as well, and it turns out really beautiful. And let's see how that develops. If it's gonna be reproducible for all of the size, of the whole vineyard size, we're gonna apply it to all of the other vineyards as well, because it's most important is to preserve the nature for the next generations. That sounds a bit awkward, I know, but still we need to think in another dimension. It's like if you see, we have so many vineyards in the Kaiserstuhl which are farmed by cooperatives and large wineries which are farming generally, so just standard. That is really, really, really tough, because you have, especially on the Schlossberg as well, you have vineyards which are farmed not biologically, and you have brown grass which is completely gone. You have an outstanding vineyard, but it won't produce good fruit because it's just that. So that's the thing, and that's something sad, which is you don't have any life in the soil anymore, and that's something which we thought about before. So, but it's how should I say that? It takes time to convert, of course, but it's a process. We are not there yet, but we are getting there, and I think you can feel that in the wines as well.
Do you really have the same piece of vineyard? With one part you do biological, one part you do biodynamic, and you do the vinification at exactly the same way?
Just to see the differences. So we want to see what is the difference between if we farm biodynamical, biological, and then do different kind of wine cuttings, so of cutting the wines, and then see how it turns out in the wine.
Now, what are the first results?
Yeah, you wanted to ask?
No, sorry. What are the first results if you compare the two ways of procedure, biological and biodynamic? What is the influence in the glass of the result in the glass?
Yeah, good question. For me personally, the wine always they tend to be having more, even those which we now can see with those biological vineyards, compared to the other ones, or the older vintages which we have. They have more, how I call it, electricity. So more acidity. They are more dancing. They are more lively. It seems like
it's more pure. It's purity.
It's a pure expression of terroir. It's living. It's not like there's nothing going on. You can see it in the mouth. It's more tension, more acidity. It's crisp. It's clean. It's not, and you don't need to do a lot of in the cellar. It's just like you don't do a lot of intervention, because you don't need to you don't need to take care of a sick kid, let's call it like that. It's healthy from nature, so you don't need to do anything if it comes in, and you preserved it with glyphosate or anything else, or they are struggled by herbicides. Of course, you need to take care of that in the cellar as well. But you don't need to do it if it's from biological or biodynamical.
Yeah.
But in fact, results on aging, that's to see because that's too early now, or?
No, I don't think so. I think that they will develop even better now than they did the vintages before 2014 or 2015 or something else. 2014 was much more difficult. Of course, there will be another years where it's not easy to farm biological, but I think there's always a path or always a way. Well, we think like that to produce good biological wines with different methods. But I think they will age even better from 2015, 2016 vintage on towards now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. You can write it down, Dimitri. From the next visit, we will do some barrel tasting, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Just thinking that we are now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and one is already there, so we have 5. That's just one car.
That's one car.
So we just pick a date, and I will drive to.
In Corona, it's two cars, yeah.
In where you're no. No, but let's talk about in January, February. Maybe they are a little bit more loose then. And
let's hope.
We can. If I would want to go with you people over there to really show and feel and smell and taste everything what happens there. So
I'll be here your day.
With pleasure.
Yeah.
That's actually the main thing. If you can bring people to a property, is it Franz Keller or Alves de Souza or no matter where, that makes really the difference.
It is, huh?
Another level. Yeah.
Yeah. You make ambassadors of the people who are coming.
That's true. I still remember the visit.
And actually, maybe Yannik doesn't know that, but actually it is thanks to Peter, which is still here, you know, Peter?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
It's actually thanks to Peter that I visited you and that we start working together.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No,
well, that's great.
Yeah.
Sometimes he say good things.
Sometimes.
Something is a very strong moment.
Ja. Ja, oké.
But dank u wel daarvoor. Hè?
Nee, met plezier, absoluut. Dus ja.
Om
het kunnen delen, de passie.
Actually, that's the beautiful at the job that we have, that if I'm going to a restaurant and we have a sommelier which is passionate, and then you talk about and you see really the sparkling in the eyes of the person, and you sparkle too, and you know it's like 1 + 1 makes certainly 3, and then you talk about wine, and then everything certainly is possible, you know. And you ask him, oh yes, that wine grow or that year or that region, oh yes, and then he comes, oh, I have a discovery, and then he let you taste the discovery. Oof, that's life, you know. That's really the emotion,
it's the chemistry.
The chemistry, the engine to go further and to,
Covering is one thing, but sharing is even better.
Yeah.
True. That's true. Yeah.
Hans as a sharer. A sharer.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you very much, I would say.
And I'm actually going back to the Schlossberg Grauburgunder for a moment.
Ooh, I still have a little bit.
But yes.
Funny ass.
No.
I just had another bottle in my cellar, so
that one. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Great.
the bad thing is, imagine that we are now, like our 5 together now, still together at the same spot. Then for sure, we open a 14 or a 15 or a 16 or an older vintage just to,
talk about it, yeah.
And now it would be a shame to open it now just for myself,
Absolutely, yeah.
I cannot share it.
It's never a shame to open a Schlossberg 2014 for yourself. Not a shame.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay. It just needed a little push, Ik heb trouwens een keer die brochure dat erbij zat, de Oostelum. Ik heb ook erin gebladerd. Ik vind, er zaten 2 brochures, die andere ken je ook.
Ja.
De andere niet, German Wine. Dat is eigenlijk meer voor professionals. This is more for professionals.
Ja, klopt.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is okay for private customers. It's more easy.
Yeah.
But for example, I was looking for just a map of Germany, which situated the wine regions. It is not in. You don't find it.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't know why. It's a bit weird.
But not many countries have this. Austria has it, but it's difficult to find. So the support that we have is very good, but it's a little bit, I don't know. Wat vinden jullie ervan, Remco en Charlotte?
Van wat? Van dat boekje? Ik moet zeggen dat ik dat nog niet gekeken heb.
Mag ik het dan weer in, alstublieft? Ik zou het graag terug hebben. Ik had er iemand anders plezier mee doen.
We hebben wel 2. Dus ik heb 1 aan mijn collega al gegeven.
Zo doe je dat.
En de apotheek
€5. Ik vind het tof dat je erbij was, jullie eigenlijk. Leuk. En hoe zijn je erbij gekomen? Hoe heb je ervan gehoord, van deze degustatie?
Ik denk meest via Pieter eigenlijk. Dat ik jullie heb leren kennen. En dan ik volg dat gewoon op internet. Ik dacht, ik schrijf wel eens een keer in. Het is gemakkelijk om dat zo op een eerste keer te doen.
Tuurlijk.
Dus toegankelijk, hè, voor... ik ben niet echt een leek, zoals zij, maar... ik weet er wel iets van, maar ik ben een beginner, snap je?
Ja.
Dus dan is dit zeer toegankelijk voor mij om toch veel bij te leren.
Tuurlijk.
Ja, dat is toch tof om mensen hebben het al gezegd, in uw eigen living te doen. Moet niet meer rijden. Dat is allemaal voordelen.
En kende je Franz Keller ervoor, of is het de eerste ontmoeting?
Is dat dezelfde als wat ik heb gedronken in Persie?
Nee. Je hebt over een Keller in de Rheinhessen.
Ja.
Je hebt 2 grote, two unique Keller producers in Germany. So but 2 different cultures. But with the same reputation.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. One is more focused on Riesling. It's doing great Pinot Noirs, but more famous for Riesling, absolutely.
I only tasted their Spätburgunder, so.
Okay, the Keller Spätburgunder from Rheinhessen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good as well. Yeah, and really expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So but still really good winery, of course.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So Dimitri, pijs dat ik toch wel een keer ga moeten beginnen babbelen, hè? Nee, absoluut niet. Dus, het is een genoegen om de passie te delen.
Uiteraard.
Ja, top.
Dat is een Japans ritueel trouwens. Hè. Amai is eigenlijk dat de kennis overgedragen wordt.
Ah, is dat zo?
Ja.
Ah, oké.
Ik ben een boek aan het lezen, of die is bijna uit trouwens, over wabi-sabi.
Nee, het is wasabi.
Trouwens, heb je alle keer echte wasabi gegeten? Maar echt?
Ja, maar ja.
Nee.
Dat is niet normaal. is niet normaal. Hennezever, je moet dat een keer proberen. Allee, je kunt dat bijna niet vinden. Maar wasabi vers, so fresh wasabi. This is wow. Really, really wow. But you cannot find it. I found it in a sushi bar in Holland. It was in Rotterdam, I guess, or
Ja, natuurlijk.
sushi. I had the best sushi, and it was. You could choose or wabi-sabi, from the tube or fresh one.
Yeah.
As I never had a fresh one, so please a fresh one. It was much more expensive, but no, a fresh one.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Last year, yeah.
Okay, but this is something else. I'm reading a book about wabi-sabi, which is it is the perfect, imperfect life.
Okay. The perfect, imperfect life.
Yeah.
Something like wasabi, yeah.
Seeing the perfection in imperfection.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why he hired me.
Okay, cheers.
I put myself on mute now.
It's good to know your place. Hey.
Dat lijkt echt het café, even duur.
Ja, maar het enige wat dat mis is bier.
Het is 7 man, shit zeg.
Ja.
Ik kan nog een fles opdoen, kijk.
Oh. Nou, het kan bijvoorbeeld een idee zijn, hè, om in uw doosje een flesje nummer 7 te steken, een mystery bottle en daarover te beginnen babbelen, bijvoorbeeld. En een quizje aansteken.
Nee, ik zou het om 5 plus 1 doen, niet? 7, je vindt.
Ja, maar...
Voor de doos, hè?
Ja.
Dat kan niet in die dozen, ja.
Ja, grotere dozen zeker?
Ja, als er een kurkentrekker in kan er wel zo een mini-flesje in, zeker? Hè? Hey.
Ik verkoop die flesjes in een apotheek.
Ben je een noemt dat dan? Een apothekeresse?
Ja, klopt.
Op zijn West-Vlaams gezegd, hè?
En Charlotte, in welke apotheek werk je dan, Charlotte? Of heb je een apotheek?
Nee, ik heb er geen. Ik werk in Moerzeke, maar dat is echt een boernol.
Moerzeke, begon.
Een boernol.
Ja.
Je hebt wel een introductie gemaakt, hè, Charlotte? Ja, ik moet zeggen. Ja,
Ja, Moerzeke, ja, dat is een boernol in de buurt van Sint-Niklaas.
En het wordt maar platter en platter.
En waar wonen jullie dan?
In Westminster.
Juist, ja, men verstuurt je flesjes, dat is juist.
Ja, opletten, hè.
Een beetje, je moet wel doen alsof dat je klanten kent, hè. Sorry.
Die bestelling zou annuleren, hè.
That's why he hired me.
Eigenlijk heeft Hans ze verstuurd, dus ja. Hans wist het. Ja, toch, Hans?
Klopt, hè?
Zalig, hè. Welke luizen heb je genomen, Pieter? Die Gabriels?
Ja, allemaal Gabriel Glas. Ja, belangrijk om te zeggen, in het begin, dus ik had 3 glazen voorzien. Ik zeg, de eerste serie, ik had eigenlijk gedacht dat...
Ik spreek in het Engels misschien voor jullie.
In the beginning of the presentation, you suggested to pour the 6 wines, but I didn't know I had to use to use 6 glasses. So
you only have 1 Gabriel glass, or...
Yeah.
No, I have more of them, but I was not well prepared.
Can happen.
Yeah. It's the same like you don't know your customers and
1-0.
Okay, we're going that direction. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I used Gabriel Glas. Yeah.
Those are good glasses. We use those in the winery as well.
Yeah.
For the higher classifications, we always use the Riedel glasses, the Burgundy.
Yeah.
The ones right here. So the Riedel Veritas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, for anyhow, those are the perfect universal glasses, Gabriel glass, I think.
Yeah.
Gabriel is Austrian, I guess, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Austrian, but made or invented by a Swiss guy.
Yeah.
We had that glasses at Anton Bauer first time, I guess. Huh? Yeah.
That was the first time we met the glasses of Gabriel Glass. Yeah. I prefer Gabriel Glass more than Zalto, for example.
I'm not a fan of Zalto.
No.
Oh, we are a fan of Zalto.
Me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Why don't you like the Salto glasses, or do you prefer the Gabriel glasses over the Saltos?
I have, for example, I'm a big fan of the Jancis Robinson glasses. You tried it?
No.
Yannik, you tried it. Come on. We were the first in Belgium who tried the Zalto glasses. You and me together in Antwerp.
Now the salesman is coming up.
No. I'm selling them. But that's
no.
You know, we did a 3-day tour, and everybody has his own glass, and then we went to Sepide, you know, the Ironies in Antwerp. And just had a delivery of the Jancis Robinson glasses.
Okay, I remember.
And we were looking to each other and saying, "Whoa, we are now tasting the same wine for 3 days, and in this glass, this is really wow."
Those were good glasses, right? Yeah.
I mean that glass.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, they were really pure expression.
Salto glass for me is one. If you look at it, it breaks.
Salto.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
try to dry it. How do you say it? With with a hand towel. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Then it's. Maybe I'm strong. Maybe that can happen, but.
Yeah.
But it's so scary.
Yeah, but if you clean your glass, a lot of people what they do, they. Ja, ik ga het misschien in het Nederlands zeggen, het is gemakkelijker, maar ze gaan altijd in tegengestelde richting.
Ja.
Je pakt je voet vast en je gaat dan, bij wijze van spreken, de omgekeerde beweging maken. En als je afdroogt, moet je dezelfde beweging maken. En dat helpt echt wel. Als je afdroogt, de truc is, wat doen ze? Ze steken de handdoek, wacht hè. Ik ging de bavet pakken van mijn klein, maar oké. Nee, maar dat mocht je eigenlijk niet doen. Je moet eigenlijk effectief in dezelfde richting.
Niet zo vastpakken, hè, maar zo.
Ja, ook al.
Ja, dat kun je ook doen. Ja. Maar effectief gewoon in dezelfde richting afdrogen. Want vaak, waar breken ze? Dat is in de steel of aan de voet. En dat komt door die omgekeerde beweging. Geef het maar mee. Hè.
Ja, dat is goed.
Ja.
Ja, maar inderdaad, als je aan de kelk vastneemt en je droogt af, dan zit er niet met die spanning op die voet.
Ja, klopt.
En dan,
inderdaad.
Heb je nog zoveel wijn, maar dan in glas?
Ja, een fles open.
Zit de fles open dan. Ai.
Ah.
Onze flesjes waren klein, hè?
Ja, maar ja, de mijne ook, maar die in mijn kelder was iets groter.
Nee, waarom ben ik geen fan van Zalto? Omdat ik weet niet, 1, ze breken veel te gemakkelijk. En 2, ik heb meer magie in andere glazen. Zoals die Jancis Robinson. Ik weet niet. Ja, hoe komt dat uit? Maar eigenlijk moet je gewoon de test doen. Hè?
Ja.
En met veel plezier, want dat is een zeer boeiende degustatie. Om glazen te vergelijken. Toen we die Russische wijn in de ambassade, Hans, toen we die Russische wijn in de ambassade gedaan hebben we ook verschillende glazen gepakt en zo gewoon vergeleken.
Ja.
En het is opmerkelijk. En dan heb ik gekozen voor die van Spiegelau. Spiegelau, hoe noemen ze nu weer? Een nieuw glas van Spiegelau die eigenlijk tegen Zalto en tegen, weet wel, die premium glazen zit. Novo noem het. Novo nummer 2. En dat was...
Tribeca.
Heel betaalbaar. Het is een betaalbaar glas, sterk en goede resultaten in de degustatie.
Wij hebben eruit gedronken bij Tribeca. We vonden daar geen prettige glazen.
Geen?
Nee. Te dik.
Ja.
Ja, dat maakt hem natuurlijk sterker.
Ja.
Dat Jansen Robinson gaat meer jouw ding zijn dan. Ja.
Hey, ik vind als je een bepaalde kwaliteit van wijn drinkt, dat je glas dat moet matchen.
Ja, tuurlijk. Ja.
Today I had a tasting, several brands, so Zalto, Gabriel Glas, the line of Riedel, the performance line from Riedel, Zwiesel, Stöhle, I think, and Nude. It was for Hertog Jan in Antwerp, and the first idea we all had was we will go for Zalto, but now we went for Nude. So we are going to take a look for Nude for those wines. So yeah, it's
Nude of naked eigenlijk. Nude.
Yeah, Nude. Yeah, it's made in Turkey. Yeah.
How sexy.
Nude in Turkey.
Nude from Turkey.
That's my new movie. Oh, sorry, no.
Everybody had
Peter is going for nude in Turkey. I recorded this meeting, you know.
And that was Franz Keller. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah. Be careful if you say I ordered nude from Turkey.
No, but it's a good test to see the experience in the glass, and how do you experience wine? Yeah.
Absolutely, it's amazing how different they can take different glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an idea for a tasting. Send us 3 glasses and a bottle of wine.
That's a good idea. A full bottle of wine, huh?
Yeah, full one.
We have some experience with transporting some glasses, and we stopped doing that because
I can understand.
they break. And you can seal it and protect it, and no matter what, the shit we have with glasses that we've sent it with couriers.
Yeah.
We even did the tests with the boxes you have or you had.
Yeah.
We had several kind of boxes. So in every box we have put full little bottles, and we threw them in the air. They came down, and several broke and leaked, and then we decided what to use, because that's what happened with the small boxes. They throw them, so you have to make sure that every little bottle is in the right shape, arriving at your home. So we did the tests.
Yeah. Bottle number 6 broke twice.
What a coincidence.
Come over to Waregem.
Je bent zeker een Nederlander?
Ah, dat klopt, ja.
Zo hierig als een pin.
Ik moet zeggen, ik woon nu een jaar en een half in België. En mijn ervaring is dat Belgen gieriger zijn als Nederlanders. Hè?
Ah nee, dat klopt zeker. Ja.
En dat Belgen algemeen intelligenter zijn als Nederlanders.
Dat is ook zeker waar.
Ja, dat kan
wij hebben ooit op een beurs gestaan in Amsterdam, in een wine professional.
Okay.
Wij zijn daar, we went there for 3 days eating out to a restaurant, people who don't know us. We just going there and we explain that we are tourists actually. We are on a wine fair and we are hungry and we want to have good food. Where do we need to go to eat? We go to restaurants, we share our passion about wine, and every time we had wine for free. In Holland and Amsterdam.
Well, the most thing that, of course I work in hospitality in a restaurant. Every time that I go back to Holland, where I have worked before,
yes.
Or it's for free, or I pay like €100 for the 2 of us.
Yes.
It's something you could see in Belgium.
No.
Yeah, we were surprised. We were really surprised that they love to, and we asked them for typical dishes and you want to discover if you are in a country, eat the regional dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the names that we went, but sometimes they say, you know, we're going to give you a bottle. Try it at home. We are proud of this bottle, and they gave it to us.
Yeah, they really wanted to share their passion. They came with other wines. You have to taste this. You have to taste this. So it was incredible.
It was
In
unbelievable.
every restaurant, in fact, it was not one restaurant. It was in every restaurant.
Every evening we had something for free, which we didn't ask, and we did like this, you know.
That's crazy.
It was the look of your eyes, Dimitri.
It was the charm of Hans, of course. Which.
Okay.
Perfect.
I will leave the meeting now.
It's a match, would Tinder say.
You know, you know that if they ask, you say this is the bill, and this is, and then you search for money, and then you say, okay, damn, shit. So that's and then they feel ashamed, and they say, okay, you know, you get the bottle for free. It was actually something like that. Yep.
Okay, guys, I will leave the building.
Okay.
Thanks a lot to everyone. Merci.
Thanks to you.
Yannik, see you.
Thank you, Hans.
As soon as possible.
Hope so, yeah. Take
I would
care.
say. Thanks for the explanation and the guiding.
Thank you for hosting.
And keep healthy.
Yeah, you too.
I will.
Now we can start to gossip.
Yes, that's why I leave the building. Remco, Charlotte, salut, tot de volgende. Merci. Dimitri, tot morgen. Salut.
Salut. En toen waren we nog met 4.
Was 6.
Is het een battle of van wie dat er iets langs gaat blijven babbelen?
Het is vrij makkelijk eindigen. Nee, als ik hier end al doe, is dat iets gebied gedaan.
Is dat zo, ja?
Ja, ik ben dominant, hè, Pieter, weet dat. Hè.
Dat is een feit.
Ja. Maar dat kun je privé houden, denk ik.
Ja, ik ging zeggen, Dimitri en ik delen veel, maar niet alles.
Mijn vrouw gaan we bijvoorbeeld niet tegen.
Ja, nee, ik ging zeggen, nee, ik kan zwijgen. Ja. Wijselijk. Absoluut.
Goed, ja. Ik ben blij, het is goed geweest. Ik ben zelf content.
Ja,
de wijnen doen ook goed. Maar je kunt soms zijn dat je een wijn dat je perfect kent. Sometimes it happens that a wine which you know really well, and you taste it and say, damn, he doesn't show what he is.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And tonight, I think every wine showed what he is.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was should be.
Do you believe actually, Yannik, of sometimes you have like a calendar which tells you
I was taking a look
or not a taste day.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the calendar of Mariatun, and on this moment it's a leaf day. So actually, it's not a good wine day it's not a good day to taste wine. It's a leaf day. Yeah.
Imagine it as a good day.
Yeah.
The wines will be. Whoa.
Yeah. Maybe you can take on the calendar. You can take a look in the future. So maybe you can organize a tasting on a good day, on a fruit day, for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an idea to take a look.
About that, Yannik, do you believe in that?
On the influence of moon?
Yeah.
Or
I don't know. They talk about the moon and I think other stuff also which influence the.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it has an influence for sure, but yeah, on the wines as well. You can see it. If we are cutting wines, we are usually going from the moon as well. So we are paying a lot of attention to when cutting the wines and when to rake off wines and stuff like that, because you get a different how should I say that, different depth, more tension, more deepness.
Yeah. But I believe more it has an influence on people because we are a living organism, and it has more effect on us than on the wine, and that's why we taste different, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. But it has some influence on the balance as well, on the wines.
The balance, yes.
if you cut your grass by full moon, next week you will cut it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Who cuts his grass at night?
I love that reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When you work in hospitality,
you're going to
the only time you have is by night. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Imagine you are the neighbor of Peter Freiman.
What did you say?
Imagine your neighbor and you're cutting the grass at full moon.
Yeah.
Depending on which kind of grass we are talking about.
Funny. No. Yeah, but I had once a tasting where you had in the morning it was a fruit day, and in the afternoon around 5 o'clock it was a leaf day. So you had actually you would have an influence from the stand of the moon that had an influence on the glass. And I must say, but was the wine good in the morning and good in the afternoon? Yes, the quality was good, but the experience of aromas was different. I think maybe like Dimitri say, it has an influence on as you as taster, but I think it's possible that it has also an influence on the wine. I don't know if you already have experienced something like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
No.
I think. Yeah. So that's the reason you can always see that on the texture of the wine as well, the racking of barrels. If you take a moon day, it's more easy to rack the wine out of the barrel, but it's more difficult if it's not a moon day. So it's more more sticky, more gluey, you know.
Yeah.
Like
very interesting.
Yeah.
Looking forward to come to the winery, certainly. Yeah.
Hope so, yeah.
Yeah, but Dimitri
Corona allows it.
Yeah, Dimitri will arrange it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope so.
Hello. No, for sure.
Yeah.
We talked about visiting a vineyard, which was not too far.
No. I think from Waregem, it's 5 hours driving.
Yeah.
5.5.5.
You did it several times.
They're here again.
Yeah, they are back. Yes. Wat de batterij?
Ja,
batterij was plat.
Gebeurt niet, man.
So from Waregem, you said it's... Yeah.
5 hours and a half?
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to drive, huh? It's a nice drive.
Yeah, 5 hours and a half.
I was driving it like 5 or 6 times, I think, now.
Yeah. So we leave at 5 o'clock in the morning.
And you're here, 11.
Yeah.
We do a tasting until 12, lunch and...
No, okay.
What is
Vineyard tour.
Yeah, vineyard tour. And then we do dinner and then we go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. We're going to stay.
Dinner afterwards.
Dinner afterwards.
We need to have. I want to go. Actually, I have a fantasy.
Okay, no, don't listen.
I will close my. I will do like this.
It's not the time already.
It's too early. I need to be home at 12 o'clock. I'm at the office, so I need to be home. Otherwise, I have a problem. They need to be in bed at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
But I want to go to Schlossberg.
Yeah.
With us, let's call it like that, with people who are really into wine.
Yeah.
And there we can drink wines which are... Imagine that you visited Schlossberg, Peter, once, not? Or no? The wine list, call me one wine which you are dreaming of. It is on the wine list, and you think at the same time, if you see the price, whoa, I cannot buy it at that price.
Yeah.
La Tâche Romanée Conti 90.
I have a picture of the page of Domaine Romanée Conti from Schwarzendadler, really.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you on what price they are selling it at that time. Maybe they have changed it a little bit, but
minimum.
It's minimum, really. You can drink wines from Domaine Romanée Conti in Schwarzendadler for €300 a bottle. Not the Domaine Romanée Conti, but from Domaine Romanée Conti, the entry level, which is the less expensive one is, I don't know. Wait.
Well, we have Romanée Saint-Vivant, depending on the vintage. 70s are more inexpensive.
Whoa! I say, come on. I need to come here with, Peter, Remco, maybe Charlotte. Also, for that, for sure, Remco and.
No, I would say Charlotte, and we leave Remco at home.
I think it's a good idea.
Denk dat ik in Zeeland blijf, Pieter.
Oh, Remco toch. So actually, let's go. Maybe 8 persons. That's the most perfect idea for sharing a bottle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a budget of €500 each, so you have €4,000 to buy some wine. That's the idea, Dimitri, or not?
Listen, I found the page.
Okay.
For example, I'm going to take the less expensive now, and that is from Domaine Romanée Conti we're talking now. And that's €380. And that's the Grand Ichizo from Domaine Romanée Conti from the year 1973.
Yeah, but the 70s in France, it's a difficult decade, eh?
Okay, we're going to scale up a little bit. 305.
Hey!
No.
So it's, you buy one and then you get one for free?
We are under 400 now. 430. Ichizo from 2004. From Domaine Romanée Conti. €430. And a 1-star Michelin.
Yeah, that's true. That's unique.
Come on.
And in Belgium, you
from 92, 495. From 81, 470. This is
no, but that's
yeah. I can say we have as well direct allocation from Armand Rousseau.
Yes, you have. True.
So we have a large Rousseau list as well, and then of course many Bordeaux wines, which we are usually not able to sell to those prices, but as we have such a long history, it's
So actually, if we want to order Armand Rousseau and Romanée Conti, we have to call you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can come by.
Okay. I will do.
You get it wrong. You need to call me.
No.
No, we are actually not. We are not able to resell it, so we are only putting it into your restaurant. It's not on trade.
Okay.
Call me a vintage and Armand Rousseau, which you would love to taste, and a wine.
2005.
2005.
It's not on the list yet.
No.
Not on the list yet.
No, an older one.
You keep it away?
Yeah.
Okay.
We wait until it's fully ripe and then just put it in the list. But 2005.
The oldest one from Armand Rousseau, which is on the list, the oldest one is 1973, and the youngest one is 2004 on the list.
Whoa. Yeah. Impressive.
And for example, the one I love the most, or which I like, is Clos de Bèze Grand Cru. They have a 2004 Clos de Bèze Grand Cru, is €320.
No, that's okay. Yeah, okay. No, that's.
And then Charme Chambertin Grand Cru from 2004, 210.
You wouldn't be able to buy it at that price.
No, Clos Saint-Jacques, 245, 225.
Yeah.
Is it possible to buy it in the restaurant and say no? Also not. Yeah.
Only to enjoy on the table. The idea is we want the people to enjoy the wine, and not only to to have the wine in the cellar or on the list. It needs to be getting drunk. So.
I'll show you a picture of the restaurant on the inside, because we didn't show that.
Yeah, but it's
What?
No, I show the picture. Show the picture.
Just to give you the atmosphere of the restaurant, it's nice. And they also have, you can sleep there.
Good idea.
Lot, we kunnen daar slapen.
Dat is goed.
I can show you the room which we're going to book.
Ze snurkt ze.
Dat is niet waar, jongen.
Ze snurt en ze stinkvoeten.
Als dat maar was, jong. Mai.
This is the restaurant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's old-fashioned style, but you know, somehow I like it.
Typical German style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's like ski vacation.
And is it with schnitzel or? No. It was a joke, Yannik.
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
No, I was asking, is it with schnitzel?
With schnitzel? Usually you don't.
So, but it was a joke. It was a joke.
No, sorry. Don't worry.
Okay. No, but you can count me in for the dinner or lunch and dinner in Franz Adler.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
We're going to do that with, you know, a small group.
Once we are allowed to open up.
Yeah. You book a table, Dimitri?
Is already a date that we know that you're going to open again, or?
Well, they said usually it's closed until 10th of January. So let's see. I think they're gonna extend it even more.
I was hearing in Germany they are going back to lockdown.
Yeah.
In
Berlin.
Yeah.
In Berlin, yeah.
Yeah. After Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense. But
no,
anyway.
it is.
So everybody can die until Christmas and then it's lockdown again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now we leave everything open, run normally another 2 weeks, and yeah. Afterwards, anything, all the things are different. Yeah.
But it's only in Berlin or in all of Germany.
No, all over Germany. I think it's gonna come for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to bed. I'm going to leave the cafe. It was a very nice meeting, a great tasting. So thank you for the hospitality.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, you're welcome. And yeah, looking forward for the next virtual tasting from Dimitri and the real tasting or visit in Germany. And yeah, we keep in touch. Yeah.
Looking forward to the Schwarze Adler tasting.
Yeah, looking forward as well. I would say book a table for 8 persons for lunch and dinner on the same day. Yeah.
And an overnighting.
And a room.
Overnighting. Overnighting.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So something like that. I think it's the Pinot Noir in the glass.
Alle flessen zijn erop bij huizen.
Ja. Maar ze beginnen al een beetje rood te zien, hè? Ja?
Als het lekker vindt, gaat het op, hè?
Ja. Ja, dat belooft voor straks, Remco. Het zal niet meer over de rugvrij zijn.
Nee.
Zo.
Hoop doe leven, hè?
Ja. Nee, maar kijk, thank you very much, Yannik.
Thank you for listening.
Dimitri, I will hear you tomorrow.
Tot heel bedankt.
En ja, Remco en Charlotte, veel plezier nog vanavond.
Ja, merci, jij ook, hè?
Ja, slap al, hè.
Jo.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
All right. Let's call it a day.
Ja.
Allee, tof dat jullie erbij waren. Zeg. Leuke kennismaking alleszins. En
Ja, zeker.
hope to see you soon again.
Ja, sowieso 14 januari.
Ja. We zijn wel fan van die streek.
Verrassend, hè? Ja. Did you understand, Yannik, that we're going to do a tasting with Stefan Tissot?
I heard it. Yeah, that's great. When is it?
14th of January. If you want, you can subscribe.
Okay. Yeah, send me the information, or is it on your homepage? I'm going to take a look.
Yeah, but it is just as a premiere. It is just launched this afternoon that we discussed the date. And actually, I wanted to do it before New Year's Eve, but it was difficult for him. So we fixed it now on the 14th of January.
Okay. Well, that's good. I love his wines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a look. Maybe I'm going to join.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
More crazy stuff is coming.
To experience the other side. No, I'm going to be a visitor as well then. I'm going to be experiencing the other side, just listening and drinking.
That's also nice, huh?
But make sure I'm going to order full bottles.
I like the idea already.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm going to
Great. Okay.
Nick, we stay in touch, keep you updated.
Perfect.
And
yeah. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks.
Thank you. Good.
All the best and sleep well.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Salut.
Bye.